Ciao tutti! I am so excited for you to join me on this journey of gratitude stories, where I gather stories of others who have had gratitude expressed face to face, how it's made a difference in their life. You can make a difference every single day expressing gratitude. Join me on this journey. Don't wait to express gratitude today.
Ciao a tutti, it's me, KP Speaks with Gratitude Stories, and today I have an amazing scientist with me and public speaker, Dan Gubler. I was introduced to him through my husband, and he actually met him at, I believe it was at maybe a scientific conference, or Dan was actually presenting, and my husband was so excited to talk to him, and afterwards, just recently, my husband reconnected with Dan, and he said, Kristen, you've got to know Dan. He speaks publicly. He is a scientist, and he actually gets people engaged in what he's actually speaking about, and they understand what he's saying. So, Dan, I'm super excited to have you here with me. Would you tell everybody about what you do and why you do it?
Sure. Kristen, thank you. It's a delight to be here with you today. I'm a natural products chemist. What that means is I travel around the world studying compounds, seeking out compounds in plants, and incorporating them into formulations that can help promote health. There's 600,000 species of plants on the earth. That's a rough estimate, and less than 5% of them have been studied by scientists for their health-promoting compounds. So that's what I do. That's my passion.
Okay, you and my husband would be best friends.
Great.
I'm not joking. You wouldn't imagine the amount of different, formulas he makes and different different plant compounds we have in my cupboard in my kitchen. Most people have never even heard of these.
Nice. Well, we'll have to get together and swap plant concoctions, that'd be fun.
Absolutely. So how did you get into this? What made you passionate about plant compounds and science?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be a scientist. My grandfather was a scientist. He was pretty famous. He was at Cal Berkeley for several years, and he was the first one to discover thiamine and its role in the body. And so he actually did a lot of work in Southeast Asia, and there was a deadly disease in the 60s called beriberi that was devastating people in Southeast Asia. And he found that beriberi, this disease, could be reversed by just supplementing with thiamine.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And that you have your grandfather to be able to lean back on and be inspired by an actual person in your line of history. That's amazing.
Yeah, he was my hero. I always wanted to be like my grandpa, and he was a chemist. And so I remember for my tenure, I was 10. My mother gave me a chemistry set, and I was excited. And then my grandpa gave me a supplement to the chemistry set, the real chemistry set with, cool things that would explode and stuff like that. And so I grew up just palling around his lab. During the summertime, my mom would drop me off on campus, and I'd make my way to my grandfather's lab and just kind of hang out.
Cool. So what would you say is one of your favorite plants that you feel helps heal people, or what's one of your new, what you're really into right now?
I'm doing a lot with CBD right now. There's a lot of companies that have talked to me about doing things for them with CBD. So I'm doing a lot with that. I lived in Hawaii for 5 years. And so there's this plant that I studied and helped discover in Hawaii that actually helps with sleep. And so I've been studying that and using that and doing some clinical studies on that.
Okay. And you said that you have your own business now. What led you to doing your own business versus working for a corporation?
Yeah, so my own business is Health Unveiled. It's a consulting business. It's a health educational platform. So I have a weekly podcast called Health Unveiled, and then I consult with companies and clients on how to make formulations and also education. Health education is just, we're suffering, right? People go through 18 years of education all the way through college, and they take 18 years of math and 18 years of language and 18 years of history, but they take basically no years of a class of how to take care of their body, which is one of the most important assets we've been given. So I felt really passionate about going on this crusade to help educate people on health based on what's known in the scientific literature, not just hearsay based on what's trendy or what's popular, but what's known in the scientific literature.
Right, because you're a chemist, and of course
Yeah.
you've been working in this for years. I've watched a few of your presentations online, and I find you very engaging, and you're able to speak to the layman as well as those who are higher up in knowledge as far as chemistry and biochemistry goes. So I really appreciate that you have the ability to speak to everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so of course we're on gratitude stories, and so I wanted to ask you personally, Dan, what role gratitude has had in your life?
Yeah, gratitude is everything to me. Actually, when I think about this, gratitude opens up creativity, it opens up connections, with our fellow travelers in life, and helps us see things as they really are. I mean, as you know, there's been interesting papers published where people who express and show gratitude actually have healthier brain chemistry. Their neuronal network system is healthier than people who don't engage in a regular practice of gratitude and meditation and reflection.
Yeah, I do know actually. And when I was in my positive psychology courses,
Yeah.
gratitude was key to most of actually every class they talked about gratitude, whether it was about anger management or intimacy. Gratitude was always part of that key element that was needed and necessary. And it's been part of my own healing when I suffered brain trauma, when I had a grand mal seizure in 2016, and I had suffered from brain trauma and brain damage. So that's why I do these stories, is to help others understand that it's essential to being able to live a victorious life. And I'm grateful that you brought that up, that there are studies out there that help us understand that gratitude increases our, in a way, neural healing, as well as it is paramount to neuroplasticity and being able to heal the brain if you do have some type of trauma, or if you don't have trauma, if you're suffering from stress or anxiety or depression, or everybody has stress. So, we need that type of help. Well, have you had in your life somebody who's expressed gratitude to you face to face, and has it affected you positively or affected you with your work?
Yeah, so in my line of work, I develop health educational systems, wellness systems, and then nutritional supplements products. And I combine those two together. And I remember it was about a year ago, there was a woman who came to me, and she said, a year ago, I was 300 pounds and I couldn't get out of bed. My knees hurt. I wanted to play with my grandkids. I couldn't. I wanted to go to Disneyland with them. I couldn't do anything. And she said, the past year she had been listening to my podcast and trying my products and the educational system, and she had lost over 120 pounds. She was 180 pounds. She went from 300 to 180 pounds, and the tears were streaming down her cheeks as she was telling this to me, saying that I played a small role in helping to, in her own words, give her life back. And I just, that touched me. And whenever life gets me down and it's tough and you question, why are you doing what you're doing, and you feel depressed, thinking back on those times when people have expressed sincere appreciation is really what fuels me. It helps keep me going. It gives me that confidence to continue slugging even when it's tough.
Thank you for sharing that. I think that is so important. So many people don't understand that just saying thank you. I mean, she could have just decided not to say thank you, and it only took 30 seconds, maybe a minute.
Yeah.
And for you, it's a way of fueling you and to keep going. And you're affecting not just her life, but so many lives. And I think for me personally, that's what it's done for me, is those moments where I also, same thing, have a day where I just want to give up, or it's just too much. You think about those people who've written you or thanked you personally face to face, and you remember, wait, there are others out there who need this as well. So I have a question for you. If there was somebody out in the universe that you could have right in front of you right now, and you could thank them, who would it be, and what would you say to that person?
It would be my beautiful wife. I would tell her that she means everything to me. Her encouragement, she is amazing at giving gratitude and showing that gratitude, and that keeps me going. I would tell her that I'm just so grateful for her unflinching support. Even when I stumble and fall and I'm not the type of person I know I should be, She never condemns or complains or criticizes. She shows gratitude and love and encouragement. And that just means everything to me.
Thank you, Dan, for being a guest on Gratitude Stories. If others want to maybe listen to your podcast or get a hold of you, maybe if they want to know more about the CBD oil or that special ingredient from Hawaii, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, so my website is healthunveiled.com, and my weekly podcast is called Health Unveiled with Dr. Dan. It's on all stations that play podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio. And on healthunveiled.com, there's a contact button. So I'd love to hear from anybody. I mean, I'm just passionate about helping people attain optimum health. And so I welcome questions and, just happy to help in any way I can.
Great. Do you have any last bit of advice for anyone that's watching this?
Well, I just want to thank you, Kristen. This has been fantastic. And the advice I would give is to, number one, go after your passion. Think about what it is, what you want to do to change the world, and what skill sets that you have that you've been given in order to do that, and to go for it, and to incorporate a daily gratitude practice into your life. I think that gratitude practice coupled with passion are two key ingredients for successful life and helping and being able to help others.
Okay, well, thank you, Dan Gubler, and I cannot wait to share with everyone your gratitude story. And remember, everyone, it doesn't take much to express gratitude today.
Thanks, Chris.